Last but not the least article is evaluating the quality and shelf-life attributes of a multi-component meat product. This article is from Pakistan Journal of Nutrition, Volume 18, Number 3, pages 233 to 240, and was published in the year 2019. And authors are Nadia and Al-Aho, S. Dolly, M. Yeter, and W. N. Osborne. The purpose or objective of this study is to evaluate the sensory characteristics and shelf stability of the multi-component meat product exposed to room temperature storage conditions. And the respondents are 10 judges chosen from staff members of the department. Methods are the following. First, determination of the multi-component meat, the sensory evaluation, and the microbial analysis. So this article utilized nutrition and energy bars. Kung may nutrition and energy bars, mga na siya makita ninyo sa picture, it is a bar-shaped food intended to boost physical energy, typically containing a combination of fats, carbohydrates, and proteins, and fortified with vitamins and minerals that use meat as the major protein source, which is considered intermediate moisture meat products. Nang intermediate moisture meat products, ano siya mga pagkaon na partially dehydrated para ma-dissolve ang solids to bind the remaining water sufficiently to inhibit the growth of bacteria, molds, and yeasts. So these products may provide a reasonably priced, nutrients-dense food for populations with less than desirable food security. Meaning food security, this is the state of having reliable access to a sufficient quantity of affordable, nutritious food. Protein bars were initially produced for athletes na naman kay maka-generate na siya sufficient energy ng kinahanglan sa mga athletes. However, they have been adapted to the needs of an extensive variety of health-conscious consumers because this is very nutritious man. These bars contain 15 to 35% protein with the remainder being sugars and flavorings to generate taste. So shelf-stable products are those that do not require refrigeration or freezing for security or to maintain their organoleptic properties, being, affecting, or relating to qualities such as taste, color, odor, and feel of a substance. So dili maapektuhan. Meat protein bars are stored at room temperature and relying on the best possible wrapping to control oxidation. This is a chain reaction that occurs in the presence of oxygen and is responsible for the deterioration in the quality of food products, including of flavors and of odors and potential development of microorganisms. Meaning, kaning mga protein bars, kapag na siya store sa room temperature, mag-rely lang sa packaging nga gi-apply sa manufacturer. So for the dried meat products, maintaining their quality is primarily achieved through moderating or complete hindrance or inactivation of pathogens. When pathogens, this is a specific causative agent such as a bacterium or virus of disease such as E. coli and Salmonella. Kaya Salmonella is another key cause of foodborne diseases in people. So kinahanglan yun kung mag-utilize na meat, dapat i-dry yun na to siya. Kaya once din mo siya i-dry, dali na siya mapatos because of the contamination of different microorganisms. Okay, so the materials and methods or process can be undergo aning study or evaluation. So the multi-component meat-based product formulation was prepared from halal beef. Kung yung halal beef or halal food, it is that which adheres to Islamic law as defined in the Quran. The Islamic form of slaughtering animals or poultry, dabiha, involves killing through a cut to the jugular vein, carotid artery, and windpipe. And then isagulan mo siya of dried dates, walnuts, and non-meat ingredients. Chopping and extrusion. Extrusion is the process of forming something kind of forma man na siya of bar. So chopping and extrusion were used to create rectangular bars with a pH of 5.0 and a water activity of 0.85. Pagkahuman, the product was cooked at 70 degrees Celsius and chilled at 2 degrees Celsius prior to packaging. Ang gigamit na packaging ani is vacuum package. The product was then stored 8 and 11 months at room temperature, which ranged from 42 to 52 degrees Celsius. Kaya, syempre, everyday mo change ba ang temperature. So, the sensory and microbial status of samples of the meat were also evaluated. So, ano na siya ang result? So, figure 1, it demonstrates the results of the sensory evaluation of the multi-component meat product and storage time had a significant effect. Our p-value is less than 0.005, meaning it is statistically significant. So, a p-value less than 0.05 is statistically significant. It indicates strong evidence against the null hypothesis on the sensory properties such as flavor and overall acceptability. So, as per the specialists, samples stored for 8 months were acceptable in flavor, hardness, overall appearance, and overall acceptance with scores of 6.7, 4.6, 5.8, and 6.7 respectively. So the samples stored for 11 months were close to being unacceptable because the flavor had decreased in value 3.4 to approximately 3 on the hedonic scale. So the hedonic scale, this is the scaling na gigamit sa kanang scaling mo ang acceptability sa pagkaon with 0 as kanang dili siya accepted, yung 7 as excellent. Therefore, the overall acceptance of the samples that were stored for 11 months at room temperature had a lower score, which is 5.1, than that of the samples stored for 8 months, which is 6.7. So based on the results of this examination, the temperature has a significant effect on the flavor changes during storage, or the acceptability of the flavor decreases. And then there were no significant differences among hardness and overall appearance due to storage time. So the mean value of the total viable count, or TVC, in a sample with a storage for 1 month was 9.9 CFUG-1, which we can see in figure 2. And it increased to 2.6 by 103 following 8 months. Please refer to figure 3. And after 11 months, the TVC reached 3.9 by 104 based on the figure number 4. So these results were considered a great indicator of product legitimacy, as these values are consistent with the Iraqi microbial limits for food. So in general, the sensory parameters such as flavor, hardness, overall acceptance, and overall appearance decreased during storage from 8 to 11 months. Therefore, this new product can be stored for 8 months with no impact on the overall acceptance. Likewise, neither salmonella nor E. coli were observed in the meat at room temperature for 8 and 11 months, which may be a direct result of the nitrate and nitrite. Yung nitrate and nitrite, both are legal preservatives which suppress harmful bacteria that were added to the meat bars because of their essential roles in color and flavor improvement and antioxidant activities. Additionally, there was no development of similar microorganisms when the samples were treated at high levels of post-lethality. So a lethality treatment that is applied or is effective after post-lethality exposure. It is applied to the final product or sealed package of the product in order to reduce or eliminate the level of pathogens resulting from contamination from post-lethality exposure and stored at room temperature. So the product appeared to be shelf-stable. Overall, no security issues were observed in connection with microbial growth during storage for 8 and 11 months at room temperature. This study found that vacuum-wrapped multi-component transitional moisture meat product protein bars are safe and acceptable to consumers after 8 months of storage at room temperature ranging from 42 to 50 degrees Celsius, which may be beneficial for innovation of a new product, which is protein bars, for developing nations with nourishment security issues or lack of refrigeration. Thus, this study will help researchers develop other meat products that are suitable for countries with hot climates. So this is where my discussion ends. Thank you everyone for listening.